Hello and welcome to Cash Grab, the podcast where we talk about franchises that have been turned into video games or vice versa and decide are they a cash grab or are they not. My name is Tom.
And I'm Steph.
And I'm joined with the Debbie Harry to my fucking... Who's the magician? What's the magician's name? Something Daniel.
I have no idea, mate.
Well, what I'm trying to say is you are my magician's assistant, Steph. And I think the very apt thing for you to be in this time, considering we are talking about magic in today's episode. For the third time, may I add, we are talking about magic.
It is, yeah, it is.
Yes.
Just to put it out there, of course, everything that's going on in the world, we are isolating.
We are
in
indeed.
Lockdown. So we are currently recording this over Discord. So hopefully the volume and everything sounds alright, and the actual speech isn't too bad. But we can only apologise, but we can't do much about it, sadly.
Absolutely. So, I mean, in one sense, this is an uncomfortable situation we all find ourselves in, and quite a bit of a shame, especially when it comes to podcasting, because it does throw in some complications, a bit of a spanner in the works, isn't it, Steph? But at the same time, congratulations to all you listeners to the first quarantine fucking cash grab episode. That's not bad, is it?
No, the first quarantine cash grab is got a ring to it.
It's got a bloody brilliant ring to it. In fact, I think we should just do quarantine cash grabs from now on. Just chuck fucking Adam in a cell and throw a microphone in and let him be done with it.
Just let him deal with it.
We'll just write down, Steph. We'll just write down how many weeks till he uses it as a dildo.
Oh god. 0.1 of a week.
Yeah, I think a good 0.1 or 0.2. I'll go 0.2 just to throw a little sugar in there, and we'll put 20 quid on it, and whoever wins, that's it. You've got a few rounds at the pub, basically.
When the pub reopens.
When the pub reopens in 2022. Beautiful stuff. So, right. On to the podcast. Today we are doing Harry Potter 3, which is the Prisoner of Azkaban, because we have got into a trend of every 10 episodes we do a Harry Potter. So it is the Prisoner of Azkaban. Steph, have you seen this before?
Yes. Tom, just quickly, mate, could you maybe turn off your noise suppression, because you keep cutting in and out, and I'm wondering if it's because it's just trying to get rid of your voice there. I don't know.
Okay, how's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that sounds better. We'll see what happens in the episode.
Lovely, mate.
Am I cutting in and out, or am I alright?
You're cutting in and out a tiny bit, yeah.
Alright, let's just
turn it off.
Right, I'll turn it off. Let me know if
that's a lot better. Fucking hell.
Oh, is it?
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, it sounds like you're in the room. Sounds like you're with me. That's so much better.
Oh, cool. All right, let me know if you hear any background noise, because my house is not a quiet household.
That's all right. Don't worry about it, mate. It adds flavour, adds spice to this podcast.
That's it. Yeah. So anyone that hasn't listened to the show before, which is millions and billions of people, what we do is we watch 30 minutes of the film, and then we play 30 minutes of the game.
Yep.
And then we see how they compare, and we decide whether or not the game is a cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally you get a video game based off a film. Sometimes you might do it the other way around, but we'll get to that.
It's more commonplace for a franchise to be turned into a video game. At least it was. I think it's becoming more common now for video games to become franchises.
Definitely. I think that the years of the video game tie-ins have stopped.
Yes, exactly.
And now they're trying to nail video game films.
Yes.
And they're getting better.
They are. The first one that really comes to mind is something like Assassin's Creed, which I haven't seen it. And obviously, I think we're going to be covering that at some point on this. But I, at least to my memory, I remember hearing it was a bit of a disappointing fuckhole.
Disappointing fuckhole. Yes.
Yeah, it's basically my assumption of what it was.
I watched a Sonic movie, and
yes,
I actually really enjoyed it.
I'm hearing a lot of that.
Take it for what it is and just enjoy it. It's good.
Yeah. Well, as a like, you grew up with Sega, didn't you? Sonic's in your childhood, and I think that definitely helps.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll do an episode on that anyway.
Absolutely,
now it's out and digital.
Absolutely.
But today we are talking about Harry Potter 3 and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
We are, yeah. So let's jump right in, I suppose.
So you've seen this before, yeah?
No.
You've never seen Harry Potter 3?
Nah. It's the trend with every time we do a Harry Potter, I come to realise I've watched practically none of them. I think I've seen the first, a little bit of the
Okay.
second, and I've seen probably the last one or two, maybe. All that stuff in the middle, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. So no, I think this is my first time seeing it. I certainly don't remember any of the mad shit which happens in the first like 10 minutes at least. that I would have remembered this. Do you know what I mean? Like I've definitely never seen this before.
I feel like you would have. You would remember this because
absolutely.
It's a very like intense opening scene.
Exactly. So I mean, right. Let's jump into it. So quite typically of a Harry Potter film, we actually discussed this before we started watching the film. Quite typically, it always starts on the road where Harry lives with his uncle and auntie, or basically his captors. Do you know what I mean? Because he is fucking captive to his despicable human beings that he lives with. So it always seems to start there, basically, and this film is no different. So it starts there, and
in that place in Derwent Avenue.
I think it is, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you once again asking the wrong bloke, you know. So let's say Derwent Avenue. So it starts in Derwent Avenue, and basically, camera kind of zooms in, pans in, and it's a dark, rainy night, and Harry is in his room and under his covers, and it's trying to play off the fact that, you know, he's becoming a teenage boy, and so he's starting to experiment with himself. But really,
it's Privet Drive, by the way.
So they're on Privet Drive. Camera pans in, and it's playing off the fact that Harry's gonna be starting to experiment with himself, playing with himself. He's a teenage boy. You know, this is as you know, this was coming out during our generation. We were of a similar age, so it was trying to kind of play into our development as human beings. And really, what's Harry doing? He's experimenting with fucking light tricks with his wand. Once again, not a pun.
Can I rephrase this?
Yes.
He's experimenting with his wand under the bedsheets.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, he is. He's experimenting with his wand under the bedsheets, and he's producing beams of light from the tip of his wand. and because he's never experienced this before, he's quite surprised by it. But he's reading. I don't know, what is he reading again? He's some book, innit?
It's a book or a newspaper or something.
Yeah, he's reading.
Sure.
Basically, he's reading some old piece of shit under his bedsheet. What I like about this scene is Vernon coming in like every 10 seconds and just frantically looking around the room for something to scream at. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, he just wants to he wants to fucking wrap his belt around his fist, pummel Harry, and then rip his drawing of Hedwig off his wardrobe.
Yeah, his little drawing, his little watercolour of Hedwig.
Which it was the first note I made, colouring in sessions at Hogwarts. Like what the fuck? You've got a live owl in your room. You don't need a drawing, surely.
Yeah, you still might need a drawing of him. Who knows?
Just to remind you of what he looks like in case you turn your head to the left.
I mean, to be fair, yeah. To be fair, I've got a picture of my dog in my room, but my dog doesn't permanently live in my room.
Yeah, that's the point. Exactly. And also, your dog isn't the sort of animal to perch and take fucking seed from your hand. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, he might. We haven't tried that
one yet. He's a smart dog.
Do you want to hear what my first note was?
Go on.
Uncle Vernon.
Yes.
He's put on a lot of weight. I'm sure he's put on a lot of weight. He's massive.
This ties into my second note. So I'll get to my second note in a second because it ties in perfectly with that. But basically, after this scene of Harry looking at something which is obviously going to end up being quite important, this important book or document, whatever he's looking at, it changes scene to the morning afterwards, or the day afterwards, and there is a guest coming over to the Dursley residence, and basically they're having a Sunday lunch sort of thing, and basically Harry is the washing up bitch, the everything bitch, basically. You know, he's got to make sure the volume on the TV is at an even number, all of that shit. And basically they have a few kind of panning camera angles whilst the Dursley family are sitting down with their guest at the table. Fucking hell, second note, Vernon, as powerful as ever, the size of him. The fucking size of the man. He's
huge.
It's like, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of something real in this world that you could kind of attribute him to kind of make it human. It's like if a jumbo jet sprouted arms and legs and decided to sit at a dinner table. It's unreal.
He is massive,
except less aerodynamic. More like basically boulder, to be honest.
He is basically
boulder. Yeah,
and as usual, Harry gets treated like absolute shit. And,
yes,
he gets very pissed off.
He does.
All mad wizard and turns I assume it's the auntie that's come to visit. Turns her into a massive balloon.
Yes.
And she slowly rolls out of the house through the conservatory. Now,
yes.
Vernon then holds onto her feet. And I'll tell you what, mate. My second note is the magic behind Harry's, like, whatever he's done, like the power of his magic must be absolutely insane, because Vernon has the weight capability to hold down a SpaceX shuttle launch.
Yes.
There is no way that he couldn't keep her on the ground. I don't know what power he was producing with that spell.
I totally agree. I'm going to take a stab in the dark at Vernon's weight here, and I'm going to say he's closer to 70 stone.
I feel like that's quite appropriate, yeah.
Well, look, I mean, how many stones to a ton? I hope you don't mind if I have a quick Google. Hang on.
No, go for
stones to a ton. 142 stones is a ton. So 70 is literally half that. And I think saying he weighs half a ton.
Valid.
I think what he's saying he weighs half a ton is pretty spot on. So,
I think it's quite valid,
look, I don't even think that's an exaggeration. Vernon is 70 stone, listeners. And this woman, God knows how powerful the helium is that Harry filled her up with, but my God, it lifts 70 stone like it's fucking nothing, like he's a toddler. And she just takes off. She's gone.
She's gone.
That's
and with that, obviously, Vernon's a little bit pissed off. And,
he's not happy, is he? Can we talk about Vernon's eyes quickly?
Oh, God, yeah.
So, I mean, a bit like a chameleon, isn't it? Like one's looking for you and one's looking at you.
Yeah, it's a bit odd.
But what's it about? Because was he pissed at the dinner table, or is it basically just morbid obesity and diabetes? Because is it all of them?
I think he was pissed. I think he was having a good old drink up.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah, true enough. They were downing brandy as the scene was kind of carrying on, weren't they? Fair enough. Let's lay it down to alcohol then. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it was definitely alcohol.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so Harry gets out of the house because he obviously has to leave again.
Yes.
So this time he leaves and just, I don't know what his plan was, but he leaves the house and sits on a bench by a playground.
Yeah, and this is middle of the night. Middle of the night on a wet evening as well. It's not raining, but it's previously been raining, so there's nowhere to sit or be comfortable.
So yeah, I don't really understand what his plan really was.
Yeah, and then because what the fuck is he trying to do? Did he know about the bus? We'll get to the bus in a sec, but did he know about it? Couldn't have done.
I don't think so, because he was quite surprised when the bus turned up.
Yeah, he did look shocked, didn't it?
Yeah, right, so I don't really know what was going on there. But then the plot line of this film is Sirius Black has escaped Azkaban prison, and they believe he's coming after Harry because he's a bad wizard who was mates with Voldemort.
He's a very naughty wizard. He's a fucking Uri Geller of the fucking wizarding world. That's what he is. He's all about bending spoons and being a real troublemaker.
But so not to spoil this film that came out in
2004.
But I'm going to quickly lay down a spoiler.
Go on.
He's not evil. He's Harry's uncle.
Fucking hell.
Or is he uncle, or is he just like a...
Is he one of those people that says, like, I'm your uncle. Yeah, exactly. He's
really,
your
really
uncle.
Good mates. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that sort. I feel like it's that sort of thing, to be honest.
So he can turn into a wolf.
So
he so the playground goes all creepy and everything's squeaking and everything
Yeah.
needs a bit of maintenance to it.
Yes.
But it's all going a bit weird and and then the wolf comes out really slowly out of the bush, like snarling
Yes.
and like baring teeth and barks at, and then the bus comes. Now, if he was genuinely trying to get to Harry and be like, no, we're friends. Me and your dad have been friends we were friends whilst he was alive for years.
You'd do a friendly pant, wouldn't you?
You'd think
if you were a wolf.
Yeah, you'd think he'd just be nice. You wouldn't think he'd be so creepy. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I didn't really understand why.
Yeah, I don't like. We made a point of this whilst we were watching it. I mean, you brought it up, but like, you wouldn't come out baring your teeth and snarling because it's the equivalent of saying like, "I love you, you prick." Do you know what I mean? Like it gives off a very strange kind of mixed impression that like you're not physically attacking him yet, but you are kind of giving off the impression that you are going to tear his jugular out.
Yeah, because we both got dogs. We both love dogs. But if a dog comes up to you and bares its teeth and starts growling, you don't go, "Oh, hello, dog. I'm going to stroke you." You go,
"Hello, Pooch. Right. Somebody wants a pat on the head, don't they?"
you back off instinctively, knowing that the dog
absolutely
rip your fucking face apart.
Oh, yes, so, absolutely.
It's just a bit of a weird thing. But then we get to the bus. The bus is probably the best bit of this film.
At least for the bits we watched. I mean, barring anything that involved Vernon, because I'm just the biggest Vernon fan. I would watch a spin-off of Vernon, and it would mainly be him watching reruns of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and eating fucking Fray Bentos pies like fresh out of the tin, cold. But I would happily watch that like all day. Vernon is a class act in my opinion. He's a class act. He's a fucking class act. I love the fella. But yeah,
I would like to see that.
Bus is a second. Yeah, sure.
No, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, so you got the magic bus. It can do all kinds of things, which still surprise Harry, even though, like, what more can happen in this universe that keeps surprising Harry?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's one of the, like, in just a year ago, in film timeline, chronologically, just a year ago, he battered a basilisk. And now he's surprised by a bus.
He had, in the first one, he had a man who was living on the back of another man's fucking hell. Head.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
How much more can you be surprised by? But I mean, it was quite odd. It's just more cool, isn't it? Like the bus can go slow motion and then like shrink, like do everything it does.
It's a wacky start to this film. Do you know what I mean? It is pretty fucking wacky. Like they've definitely one note I've made is they've definitely ramped up production. The production has ramped up like tenfold since the first two films. But they've really obviously thought, like, we've got an extra 10 million to play with our budget this time. Let's drop 8 million of it in the first 10 minutes. That's what I feel they done. I thought they just thought, like, let's really fucking up the stakes here.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like they kind of went like that. But I believe
it's manic.
Just looking at it now, I believe that it was a new director for number 3.
It feels like it, doesn't it? I was thinking that, yeah.
Number 1 and 2 was Chris Columbus.
And
then number 3 was, oh God, here we go. Alfonso Cuarón?
Mate, whatever you say.
And then number 4 is another guy. And then 5, 6, 7, and 8 is David Yates. So, that's why you start to notice the change. And David Yates' films are definitely the darker ones of the Harry Potter films.
I feel like they've put their foot through the door. Sorry, I might have clipped the mic there with a very heavy P, like a poo.
It might get you a pop shield.
Yeah. But I feel like they did start putting their foot through the door of the kind of getting a bit darker with this one, but it's not really tempting with it yet. It's kind of just bordering on it. And it's kind of got to if Dementors are going to be a fucking thing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, they're literally spirits of the dead which suck out your soul. You can't exactly have a vibrant, colourful, happy film when those things fucking exist.
No.
Imagine
you really
them.
Can't.
Yeah, imagine them in something like
just imagine
Mary Poppins.
But if they were just in the first or second film, they still wouldn't really fit in.
Yeah.
I mean, the second film had a lot of death, or like a lot of perceived death from the this big snake, but
Yes.
I still don't think they would fit in.
Can you imagine? Instead of feed the birds tuppence a bag, you fed the Dementors tuppence a bag.
Tuppence of soul.
Tuppence of soul.
Sacrifice a child.
Yes. I think there's something in that, mate.
Yeah,
I think a cash grab musical is just round the corner. Just round the corner.
We'll keep working on it.
Absolutely. So yeah, the bus scene is intense. It's manic. It is good fun. It's a real change up from the previous formula of Harry Potter. It's something totally different. It does give the opening of this film its own identity, no doubt. And he ends up at, what's it called, the place? I want to call it the Ragged Flagon.
Cauldron.
The Leaky Cauldron. What's the Ragged Flagon? Hang on.
I feel
like that's a pub in Oblivion. Imagine if it was. That'd be so fun.
It probably is, actually. It sounds like a pub from
Ragged Flagon Cistern. Oh, it's Skyrim, the Ragged Flagon.
Skyrim. You're close.
It's the one where the fucking hell. It's the one where the Thieves Guild are. You know what?
Yeah, in that bottom city. Riften.
Yeah, Riften. I was thinking of the Inn of Ill Omen. You know, where you meet Lucien Lachance from the Dark Brotherhood for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
You're a disgusting killer, aren't you? And you're like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And goes, you are, you fucking creep. You little bitch, you're a disgusting killer. And then you basically just go along with it and you have a great time because that side quest is the fucking tits.
Yeah, still not as good as the one in Oblivion, though. The Dark Brotherhood in Oblivion's better.
No, that's the one I meant.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the one in Skyrim.
No, the one in Skyrim's all right. It's not great.
Yeah. The Oblivion one's so good.
Oh, it's so fucking funny, isn't it? It's the best when you've been picking up the dead drops and killing people for the little wood elf fella who double crosses you because he wants to kill the Night Mother, and then Lucien Lachance is like, "What have you got in your hand?" No, those aren't my fucking orders. And you're like, "Oh shit!" Just murdered 6 people for no fucking reason, and then they hang him.
Go on another rampage.
Yeah, exactly. And then they just kill Lucien Lachance. Poor fucker. Good character. Anyway,
back to Harry Potter. So he goes to Leaky Cauldron and just happens to be that all his mates are there. Like they're just expecting people always expecting Harry to appear.
Yeah, it's a bit
probably because they know how shit it is at home for him.
They're like, yeah, mate, if I was him, I'd be trying to escape all the time.
Yeah.
With Vernon checking every night that you're actually awake, because if you're asleep, he'll eat you.
You're going on a barbecue if you're still awake.
Exactly. Yeah.
Asleep, sorry.
like cooking lobster. You know, they just freeze them and then just chuck them in a boiling pan, and they're like, it's humane. He'll do the same with Harry.
Yeah.
As soon as he knows his eyes are closed, he chucks him in the freezer, freezes him up whilst he's still in stasis, and then just lobs him in a big pot full of boiling water.
You know when they just chuck a live lobster into a boiling pot of water?
Yeah.
And it screams. And it's just the steam escaping the shell. Vernon's just doing the same thing with Harry's scream. It's just the steam escaping his shell.
And when the wizard's shell goes red, you know he's cooked. And when his pincers stop moving, you know he's definitely cooked. Go on, Vernon. Get in. Eat that wizard. Oh, fucking hell. God. Right. My notes start getting a bit manic from here.
Mine is just about the Dementors, really.
Yes. So one thing I did say is that rather than it feeling like a Harry Potter film during a lot of the bus ride, it feels probably more akin to Johnny English because it's mental. Mental.
It's a bit all over the shop, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? It proper is. One of my notes afterwards, which we'll touch on more as we talk about the film, but I've just got to say, I've got to stamp it right now. And I think this will be the third time I've mentioned this exact comment, because this is the third Harry Potter film and it's still an issue. Acting.
Yeah, it's still not good.
Fucking hell. It's just in
even
places.
The guy that plays Lupin, when he first on the train. Lupin's the one that saved them from the Dementor.
Yes.
Even he was wooden when he was like, Have this
Eat some
chocolate.
chocolate.
To make you feel better.
Have some Toblerone. I'm going to talk to a driver now. Bye.
Yeah. Like even the adult was bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're like 14, but like you can't.
Yeah.
The kids. They're going to be crap at 14. No one's. So, but the adults
basically,
even now are a bit pants.
Yeah, I totally agree. So he's at the what's it called again? It's not the Ragged Flagon, the Leaky Cauldron. He's at a Leaky Cauldron, and who does he meet? He meets a bloke, and a bloke has a hunchback friend, and the hunchback friend starts crushing up bread, like old stale bread, in front of Harry's face. And to me, that was a threat. It wasn't so much, do you want some pea soup? It wasn't like, do you want some pea soup? It was more like, I could crush you like a fucking stale bit of bread if you double cross me, you little thunderbolt.
If you come at me.
Oh shit, sorry, I dropped the C-bomb. Sorry, mate.
No. I'll go and try and find it.
Don't come at me, you little prick. Like, I'll break you like this shitty loaf of bread, you bastard. It was a bit like that, I thought.
I mean,
and then the guy was like, and then the guy was like, do you want some pea soup? And I'd be like, no, funnily enough, my appetite has completely fucking left me. Surprisingly enough. Jesus.
Yeah, you got a hunchback on Orchard Arm there, just smashing up bread.
Quasimodo stamping on bread. Funnily enough, I don't want any of your fucking soup, my friend.
And then I can't remember what actually really happens in the cauldron, to be fair, but should we just get to the Dementors? Because it's
he had the book. He had the book, which I think needs to be mentioned. The Book of Monsters. Monsters?
Monsters. I think we've lost Tom there.
Oh, monsters is what I meant to say. Oh.
Yeah, so this is another like thing of the Harry Potter universe, which I get it, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why have a book about monsters that is a monster book? Like, you open it up and it tries to rip your fucking face off.
Yes.
And then you've got to like, I think later on you find out that you have to like stroke its spine. So you have to like stroke the spine of the book so you can like kind of will it into letting you open it up and like.
Fucking hell.
So you have to like caress the book for it to give you permission to read it. Otherwise it just goes at you. And it's just like, why?
Who thinks of this?
Why would you do this?
Does the book have a page on itself?
You know the old saying of like, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something.
Absolutely, good saying.
The geezer was like, I wrote a book about all different monsters and I could make it so the book is a monster. That would be quite fun, wouldn't it?
That'd be interesting.
And then I'll give it to school children.
It's like, I'm going to write a book about fire safety, but when you open the first page, it blows up. Do you know?
And on the last page would be a fire extinguisher, but they'll never get there.
They'll never get it. Blow up. Because the book is already in cinders. It makes no sense at all. So yeah, Harry basically opens this book. The book tries to eat his fucking lips off, and then he has a ridiculous scene where basically he ends up fooling the book by dropping a shoe. The book tries to eat a shoe, and he stamps on it, and literally the scene ends quite comically. It stamps on it. It's got a close up of his fucking 2 feet crushing its skull, and just goes like, oh! And it's just like, oh! And then it just cuts to fucking next scene. But anyway, I think that's. He like you said, he kind of rejoins with the Weasleys and Hermione Granger, and they have like a little catch up, and it kind of moves straight onto the train, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then the train's fairly normal, except from the fact that Harry's willing to spill secrets in front of a person who's apparently asleep, which just seems ridiculous.
Listen, we've all been on like a train back home or something late at night after a night out. That like we've all been there, and there's always been that one guy that's like so drunk that he's passed out with like his coat over his head, but you don't want to play any fucking tricks with him because rudely awake him in any way, shape or form, and he'll try and kill you without the use of his hands. He'll just nut you to death. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I got the same impression from that bloke under a coat, and still a load of 13-year-olds just happily sat next to him. And also, why is a grown adult on the child's train to Hogwarts? Do you know what I mean?
No, I think the adults can use the train as well, like the teachers.
Can they?
Yeah. I think the teachers can get on the train as well. I don't think it's just for the kids.
Oh right, okay, fair enough. So they assumed he was probably a teacher.
I'd like to think so, but I don't know.
Because I mean, come on, that could he's all in dark clothes, covered up, dark fucking cloak over his face, like do you know what I mean? Just something smells fishy about that to me. I wouldn't have gone in.
No, I would have tried. I mean, they said the carriages were busy, but I'm sure they could find a carriage with like 3 spaces in it to go sit in.
Well, I mean, you know, forgive me if I'm jumping to conclusions, but I thought I got a little sneak peek of the cabin next to him, and that looked fucking empty to me.
Could have been.
Maybe that guy, maybe the bloke under the black coat, whatever his name is, Finnegan.
Lupin.
That's the one. Maybe he cast a hex to make them think
it
everyone.
Was
yes, when really it's just an empty train.
Could be.
And he wanted them to sit near him because he plans.
He's like a James Bond villain. He knows exactly what's going to happen all the time.
Yes, exactly. Under his coat, he is hiding his face, but also stroking a cat on his lap. Yes,
he has got scars on his face.
He has. He could be a supervillain, but in fairness, a lot of people like could be potential supervillains in the Harry Potter universe. Like it only takes Hagrid to have a little bit too much fucking mandrake root, and suddenly he's just clubbing everyone to death in the halls. Do you know what I mean? Like with his massive hands. Like, you know, it could only take one like terrible incident to turn Hagrid into fucking Juggernaut from X-Men. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then everyone's fucked. No amount of magic can stop Hagrid.
No, not
imagine him charging into Dumbledore. Dumbledore's wiry frame would be broken into microcosms of minuscule bone. He'd be done. That'd be it.
It would be game over, wouldn't it? Speaking of Dumbledore,
yes,
he says like towards the end of the 30 minutes, he says, right, you know, I mean, this is going to be ad-libbed, but he basically says, there's a load of floating Grim Reapers out there.
Yeah.
Don't be worried, because unless you antagonize them, they will leave you alone.
Yeah.
Now,
he basically spoke to them as if like they were bees outside, making honey.
And then the camera zooms out, and you've got like a shit ton.
I'd say 50 or something.
Just
it's a lot.
The whole building just floating there with their creepy little hands. How are you not supposed to get worked up? Knowing that at any second they can fly down, suck your soul out of your body.
Yes,
and you can't do a thing about it.
I know. It really is. It is the equivalent of saying like we've got a new hive on site, and you know the bees are producing honey, so just leave them alone and they'll leave you alone. What Dumbledore forgets to tell you is that these bees are 5 foot each, and the hive is a city.
Yeah.
And a stinger can go through 3 people at once and then spurt venom out the other side, and there's enough venom to coat a classroom. Like, don't be concerned is a gross understatement of what is a horrific situation, in my opinion.
Yeah, I found it a bit of a strange statement.
Steph, I've got a question for you.
Go for it.
Hypothetical situation. Yeah.
Oh, go for it.
Death match. Blue corner, Vernon Dursley. Red corner, Hagrid.
Is it Juggernaut Hagrid or just normal Hagrid?
Let's say normal Hagrid, but he has the potential to turn mid-fight.
Well, I'd say Vernon has it if Hagrid doesn't turn into Juggernaut Hagrid. But if Hagrid manages to turn into Juggernaut Hagrid, then Vernon's going down.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think one thing I think could swing it for Vernon, is that Vernon is he's a solid contender in my opinion. But then when he's angry, fucking hell, his power level spikes in my opinion. Like he fucking when he goes through the roof, like when Ron broke him out, like when Ron broke Harry out, and Vernon's fucking fury, boom, like when he's like that, fucking hell.
Super Saiyan Vernon.
Yes, Super Saiyan Vernon. I think is probably top Tanya. Like
I
don't
think it would be like a
anyone's
Rocky
taking down.
Balboa. I think they'd both punch at the same time, and then it would end like that with the sweat coming off them, and we'd truly never know who won. But
yeah, it's a beautiful fight. I think that's a fight I want to watch.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll let that one lie.
Should we move on to the game?
Hang on. One thing. I have got one note, but I don't know what it relates to. Actually, I do know what it relates to. It relates to the woman that got inflated.
Okay. Yeah.
So do you remember on that scene before he was waiting for the bus and he kind of left home and she was still floating around in the evening sky?
Yep.
I thought to myself, imagine the fart you'd do after you've been let down.
My God. Maybe they have to like let you out like a massive 17-acre field, and you get placed in the middle of it. so you could go. It could be like a mini atom bomb, wouldn't it?
The local like Shropshire News would cover it up and being like, a World War II bomb was detonated in a field earlier today, so nothing to worry about there. Just. The window's just going like. But yeah, that's my closing note. I think, to be honest, I
like it.
That was our half an hour. What can you take from that half an hour?
Would you carry on watching it since you haven't seen the film?
Yeah, I would. I think much like the other Harry Potters, half an hour is enough to get me invested. Definitely not hooked, but invested.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Right, now have a guess what the Metacritic score is for the film.
Oh, is Metacritic where it's like it's a full number? It's not like a 7 point something, is it?
Yeah, it's out of 100. Yeah,
out of 100. I would say it's in the 80s, maybe like 81, 82.
Oh, 82.
Is it? Fuck off.
82. Yeah.
Oh shit. Fucking hell, nice. I haven't got my internet open. I absolutely promise you. Like, I've got nothing. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense to me. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's got loads. Yeah. 82.
Beautiful.
Good. Right.
Yeah.
Now the game. So we've played the GameCube version.
Yes.
Of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have.
Have you ever played this before?
I have not, no.
No? Have you played any Harry Potter 3 games?
I've never played any Harry Potter 3 games, no. I've played the Philosopher's Stone on PS1, and I think I played the Chamber of Secrets on GameCube.
Oh.
Yeah. Which was not too dissimilar to this, but to be honest, like, just off the bat, this isn't bad to look at.
No, it's fine, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I will throw out one thing. Main menu music, fucking hell, a bit over the top.
A little bit over the top.
It's like fucking Symphony of the Night in there. It's unbelievable. Like, I don't know what they're thinking. It's like a fucking Gregorian fucking choir chanting away, and you think to yourself, it's Harry Potter, mate. Just do a bit of the kind of like spooky wizardy music. Like,
like you've got the music down to a point. Just go with that. So
yeah, exactly.
EA UK developed the GameCube version that we played.
Nice.
And it came out in Europe in 29th of May 2004.
Wow. Fucking hell. So it's nearly 16 years old? Yeah, nearly 16 years old.
So, Harry Potter 3 came out 31st of May 2004.
This came out before it?
So this came out 2 days before Harry Potter 3.
Right, so it's basically a tie-in, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, okay. Fair enough. I think we know what they were thinking.
We know exactly what they were thinking.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, all right, jumping into the game itself, like...
Do you want to do the Metacritic score for the game now?
Oh, yeah, go on then.
Do you want to do it at the end of the...
No, I say whilst 82 is fresh in our minds from the film, let's do the Metacritic score for the game.
All right, go on.
If I'm to hazard a guess, I mean, I would think lower than... I would say early 70s, 71, 72?
67.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
But the user score is 7.7. But remember, you can't take that as gospel because people just upvote it for the fun of it.
People type all sorts of shit. In fact, like people purposely overrate terrible games on Metacritic all the fucking time. All the time.
Yeah. So take that bit of a grain of salt. But yeah, the Metacritic 67.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I can imagine that, to be honest. That seems pretty fair, really.
We'll go through a couple of things. So for the GameCube version, Famitsu said 30 out of 40. I always find it weird when they do like...
They're fucking scores, man. It's a G+ out of B.
Oh, wait for it, mate. Game Pro gave it 3 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Game Revolution gave it C.
Fucking hell, man. Criteria is all over the fucking shop.
IGN, 6 out of 10.
Okay, yeah.
And Nintendo Power, 3.9 out of 5.
Ooh, 3.9 out of 5. All right, so that's a good score, to be honest.
Mate, I think we need to go back and play the GameCube, the Game Boy Advance version.
Why?
Game Informer gave it 8 out of 10.
Shut up, really?
And Nintendo Power gave it a 4.4 out of 5.
Fuck off.
And
Are you serious?
The Metacritic for that is 69 out of 100. So it's actually got a better score than the GameCube version.
Are you serious?
I think we need to go play that for cashing in.
That makes... Yeah, actually, perfect. Write that down. Write that down. In fact, we've got the thing here. Should I write it down?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. All right, so jump us in. From what I remember with the main menu, we have... It just jumps kind of straight into the train scene, does it not?
Yeah, so it takes a little bit.
Was it Game Boy Advance, by the way?
Yeah, Game Boy Advance. Yeah. So the opening scene of the game takes a little bit of everything from the opening of the film. So you start off in the carriage, and Hermione's cat's chasing the rat, which it does in the film.
Yes,
but not in the carriage, but in the
Professor Lupin isn't covered by a shroud this time. His face is exposed.
He's just there scarred up.
Yeah.
So you go out, and the controls, the graphics aren't too bad, really, are they?
I thought they were all right, to be honest. You had reflections on windows, which struck us as a bit of a wow.
Yeah, that was quite impressive, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I thought the facial animations were they were over exaggerated, but let's be honest, you'd rather a little bit of over exaggeration than, for example, Tidus's laugh.
Yes, all day long.
It would be nice to draw a middle line between the two, but that was clearly impossible in 2004.
No, so he went with a little bit more of a cartoony kind of look rather than a realistic look, and it works. Yeah. It's GameCube. You're not going to get renders.
Yeah.
So the graphics aren't too bad.
No, not at all.
The actual gameplay itself is it's hard to describe. So it's
slippery.
It's slippery, but only at times. so sometimes
only when ice isn't present.
When ice is there, it's
fucking snow boots on that.
No, it's like when you're trying to get yourself perfectly in front of a chest. So I didn't even realize you could open chests at first because I couldn't get myself in the right position to open it.
Yeah, slipping past it.
You just can't line yourself up. You have to come back and then circle round and then aim yourself running towards it properly. It's like you're driving a car.
We obviously missed the tutorial at the beginning where Ron's like, Harry, press B to take the butter off of your shoes.
And that's it. You have to play the whole game with butter on your shoes now.
If you can complete it whilst wearing sticks of butter on your feet, you win a massive prize. You win a nude of Hagrid.
A full unfoldable magazine.
Yeah, a proper page 3 of Hagrid. Good shit.
Page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah, each page has got a word in it. Look at this bombshell on page 7 and 8. Oh, beautiful.
But yeah, so you just kind of you're running around, you're casting your flipendo spell and everything. You fight one of the monster books because why not?
You do, yep.
And yeah, it's yeah, there's not really much going on. It's just trying to teach you
Pretty
how to play the
basic,
game.
innit? Yeah.
And like you can move chests as 2 people, so like that comes in later as like a little puzzle.
There's an element of teamwork in a lot of aspects of the game.
Yes, so like you can swap back when you've got Ron. You can either press B to swap over to Ron, and you can play him. And then Harry and Ron can do different things, which don't really make sense because, like, so Ron can open fake walls, which are like special rooms.
Yeah.
Which are very, very obvious.
Yeah, fucking hell. One of them's grey, and then this one's like fucking. It might as well be highlighted in gold for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like clearly a fake room, fake wall.
Yeah, there's a secret somewhere in here, Harry. I can feel it.
For some reason, Ron can open them, but Harry can't.
Yeah.
Which I don't really understand.
Nah, because all Ron does is slap them and they open. He just pummels the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then Harry's the more like athletic one, but like maybe I could understand. Maybe Ron can't climb a rope, but he can't climb on top of a chest, which is like crotch height. How can you not climb up on top of that?
He's got chronic runner's knee in both knees. I got nothing, mate. I got nothing. It makes no fucking sense.
It's obvious. Like, oh yeah, so you got this skill for this one and this skill for this one, and but it just seems like it's a bit of an odd one that you can't.
Yeah,
absolutely. But anyway, so it's got that element, which is quite cool. I'm sure you get Hermione later, which she could probably do more spells than the lads can because she's obviously better at that stuff.
Yeah, she's got to be kind of like your kind of. Oh, I don't know. I want to say she's like your all-around puzzle solver, but at the end of the day, I feel like you need each one equally to start solving puzzles.
That's what it kind of feels like. Yeah, it feels like it's going to go that way, doesn't it?
If we are going to get into puzzles, can I jump in with something?
Go for it.
It's a lot like Zelda, right?
Yeah,
a lot like Zelda. Like like when you press Z on the controller, it brings up like your menu, and you can equip your spells to certain buttons, and you've got like your tools and your equipment, and it looks quite a lot like the Zelda menus and the layouts where you have your equipment in that.
Yeah.
But also, like Ron, I mean, we only played with Ron during the time we were playing it, but Ron, at least, I feel like is the equivalent of like equipping your boomerang. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah, like he's like another tool.
Yeah, like like the ulterior characters that you play with are literally just a tool to do something. For example, like if Harry is Link and he needs a bomb to break open the crack in the wall, Ron is the bomb which opens the wall.
Yes, yeah, very apt.
Yeah.
And then you get different spells as well. So we had Flipendo and Expelliarmus,
which is like a reflective spell, isn't it?
And you can assign them to. You've got 2 buttons to play with that you can assign different spells to.
Yeah, which
was fine for the half hour we played it, but I can imagine that it would get quite cumbersome, like Zelda.
Yeah,
and the Ocarina Water Temple, having to put the boots on and off. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, everyone does.
Like, could it get to that point where you are just like, right, I need 3 spells for this test, but I can only assign 2. So I have to keep going into the menu and
constantly switching in the menu. Yeah.
It's just that would, if it got like that, it would be very, very annoying.
I can definitely see that. Like over time, it could be a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest. Yeah, I can picture it.
Obviously, we can't say for sure because we didn't get to.
Not at all.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah, all I can do is hope that it doesn't get like.
Yeah, I mean, so the similarities are quite similar to Zelda, but like literally it is mainly the kind of like puzzle solving aspect to it. I mean, fucking hell, when we did the when there's that puzzle where it has reflecting light on the mirrors, I mean, fucking hell, there's a whole temple of that in Wind Waker.
Yeah, and Ocarina of Time.
And Ocarina of Time. It is Dark Temple, isn't it? Basically.
Is that the one? From Ocarina of Time, it's Spirit Temple.
Spirit Temple. I don't remember what it was in Wind Waker, but it's the equivalent. And literally, the point that you have to take the light to is almost the same. It's an eye. It is the same. And then when the light hits it, the eye closes up and like clasps go around it. It's literally been pulled from Zelda.
Yeah. Yeah, when did Ocarina... no, not Ocarina of Time. That was obviously out beforehand. When did
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker come out?
Ooh, it must be a similar time. 2004, 2005. Something like that. It's got to be.
2002.
Fuck off. Are you serious?
Yeah.
And it looks that much better than this.
Wow, it's a very different art style, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Wind Waker will hold up. Even without the HD remake, it still holds up today.
Just a beautiful game. It's just a beautiful game.
But what was I going to say? Yeah, so that puzzle. Puzzle, now, obviously, a Harry Potter game on the GameCube is made for kids. Like, there's no denying that.
Absolutely.
But that puzzle was ridiculously easy. Like, so you had to grab a box, move the box over to the wall, climb up, and there was a light hitting one mirror, which was going to another mirror, and that mirror was firing at a wall. Yeah. So you had to get to the mirror. You press A, and then you hold down left. Right. Now, in some games, like when you hold down left, you're moving the mirror along.
Mm-hmm.
You hit your target. If you carry on holding down left, it will go past the target, and it won't register that you've hit it, and you have to go back and place it properly.
Exactly.
This game, you held down left. As soon as you touched it, cutscene kicked in, and you were done. So
and
and then that was it. And then that mirror then went straight to the eye, and that was it. Puzzle over.
Yeah. This is where I want to bring in something about Ron, specifically Ron, but it's kind of a thing about the game in general, but it's mainly focused on Ron. When you finish the puzzle, Ron, rather than just being like, "Good job, Harry, you figured that puzzle out," Ron goes, "Wicked!" Now,
Ron's the best character in this game.
Ron, he is. I ain't going to argue with you there. He is definitely the best character in this game. He is also the most excitable character in this game. I feel like the boy ate one too many chocolate frogs before he got going, like, was able to fucking free roam around Hogwarts, personally. But, like, my God, you flipendoed a bust on a pillar, and a Bertie Bott's every flavoured bean comes out. One of them, you pick it up, and it says 1 out of 250. Ron.
Yeah.
Blimey! A Bertie Bott's every flavoured bean! It's one of them, mate. There's 250 to collect. You've already told me. It's not a cause for excitement yet.
And then when you pick another one up, and bear in mind, these things aren't exactly difficult to find. Every single pedestal that has a pot on top has a Bertie Bott's every flavoured bean in it.
Mate, I wouldn't be surprised if you take your shoe off and you find one inside
Find one in there.
Yeah.
And then, but like it seems a little bit random. He doesn't do it every single time. But sometimes he does go, "Bean!" or whatever. I gets all excited and just shouts at you.
Bean!
He becomes Mr. Bean.
He's a bit much. Like, it was everything. Like, do you remember? I think it was after the light puzzle, and you walk into this room, and it turns into a separate puzzle where these kind of like alternating stones. You're basically in a watchtower sort of bit.
Yeah, there's two concrete blocks with ropes.
Yeah, that's the one. And you're in there, 2 concrete blocks with ropes, and you just walk into the room. It's definitely quiet, other than like little background music, like. And
why are you singing Luigi's Mansion?
I thought it was something similar. I was like, I know I'm whistling. I know I'm like humming something. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was fucking Beethoven or some shit for a second. I was like, what am I humming? So I've heard that before. So yeah, Luigi's Mansion's playing in the background, and but it's an empty room, and like you didn't even move yet. You just walked into the room. Ron just goes, "Blimey!" You're like, fucking hell, mate. You're like, steady on now.
We haven't even looked at the puzzle yet.
Blimey! he's a mental head.
I don't know what is going to happen with the puzzles later on, but it did seem kind of like a lot of other games, which I can't think of any at the moment. But it's kind of like a Borderlands is a good example.
Yes.
You're like, right, there's something in the middle of the room. Why don't I just shoot at it until something happens?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's basically it.
All questions come to the answer of violence, basically.
Yeah, you just have to keep smacking that X button to just knock that thing down. And Ron was Well, you when you finish that puzzle, you basically lock Ron in the room.
Yes, he lets out a small scream as he's being fucking pillaged to death by small fairies.
Yeah, and that's it. He's done for, and then
You
you're
hear
on
like,
your own.
yeah, you hear those particular screams like behind a closed door, like a. Did you hear that?
Yeah, you cut out halfway through the screen, but it kind of added to it.
Should I do it again? Because I think I heard on your microphone like someone dropping a plate or something.
Someone's quite loud.
Like kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, that worked. Yeah. Yeah. So then you leave it, and you realise quite quickly when it's just Harry how much you miss Ron's random Tourette's outbursts.
Just his company,
because he kind of makes the game.
He does, he does. I agree.
And then you go into a stealth section. So they've got stealth sections in this game as well. But like, it's like PS1 Metal Gear Solid.
But it ain't no Metal Gear.
But it ain't no Metal Gear, no. But it's the same kind of concept of the guards are stood there, stationary. I mean, in Metal Gear they do walk around, but these ones are stationary, and they have a cone of vision.
Yes, a small cone of vision.
A small cone of vision.
They're basically looking at their feet.
Most of them you can just run straight past.
Yes.
So like you have a meter between where the cone ends and where the wall is.
Yes.
So no matter where the cone's facing, you can just run straight past.
Yes.
None of them tripped me up other than when Snape was there, and that was because you had no
Snape.
real idea of where Snape was actually looking.
It's because you've interrupted Snape during an asthma attack, and he's already gone fucking high alert. That's the only thing I can think it is, because you get caught by Snape and he just goes and you're like, fucking hell, like I don't know what that's meant to be. What is that?
It's like he's possessed by one of those things from Dead Space.
Yeah. You just see Snape in the corner just like...
I can't carry this on my own.
And you're like, fucking hell. Get your fucking laser cutter out, boys. We're going to have to cut off limbs. Oh, shit. Yeah.
And then, so it came in with a few mechanics for the first half an hour, like a few different game mechanics there. The worst one was using Hedwig. Using Hedwig to fly.
Fucking hell. It was awful watching it.
It was painful playing it. It was just terrible.
Yeah, fucking hell. Like watching it, because we had to do this over Twitch, obviously, due to the quarantine. And I'm a few seconds behind. And so Steph's audio, Steph is obviously a few seconds ahead, therefore he's reacting to things a few seconds ahead. And Steph's there just going like that. And obviously Steph suffered 5 more seconds of Hedwig flying than I have. And when I reached that 5 seconds, I too, in perfect tandem, just it's just, it is a sigh, isn't it? It's not tragic, it's not anything, but it's just a wet fart of a gameplay, isn't it? It is,
because it's so slow and so boring. Like, and it's not difficult to control. You just literally just plod along, get your thing, turn around, go back. I'd rather have rather than finding this biscuit, which I can then summon Hedwig to then get Hedwig to get me the map. I'd rather just have the map.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a pedestal came up and I just took the map.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would make a lot more sense. But this was basically the main objective we were given by Fred and George, and it was to get the Marauders map. The way Fred and George posed this to us, I wasn't too keen on, because we had to meet them in the toilets. So we met them in the toilets.
Disused toilets.
Disused toilets. Yes, correct. Disused toilets. One thing I noticed, there were no doors in any of the cubicles. Number one, privacy is totally out the window. And Fred and George said, you're going to have to find the Marauders map, but you're going to have to go, through our secret passage. And I thought, of all the uncomfortable things you could say to a 13-year-old in a disused toilet, it's you're going to have to grab my Marauders map and you've got to travel through my secret passage. I just thought, come on now. It's a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we got the Marauders map.
Our feature did once you got the map.
Yes.
You had a mini map.
Yes.
Well, that was
you did.
Good. Well, I like that.
Yeah, that was all right. That was all right. And I mean, other than that, we kind of left. Fred and George said, "Well done. You can catch us anytime if you want, to buy things from us." And we thought we didn't even fucking know we could do it in the first place. And then they pissed off, and then kind of ran about for a bit, and that was pretty much it, wasn't it? We went and spoke to Hermione quickly, and that was kind of it, wasn't it?
That was about it. But it seems like there's a few collectibles that aren't just the beans, because you can also collect the shields and the cards
for house points. Yep, and cards are just
and all that kind of stuff. So it feels like there's that kind of stuff in the background.
Yeah, there is. There's a bit of a collectathon going, which is quite similar to the other games, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was a laugh. I mean, wait, hold on, Tom. We haven't talked about the best bit yet.
Have we? I've gone through my notes and everything. So, what is it?
So when it seems you can trigger this by going into one of the rooms that Ron can open up. Then when Ron uses his special power to open a wall,
fucking hell, of course,
you go in and the non-player character, so Ron or Harry, crouches, which I don't even know how you can do in this game, crouches and walks backwards. And I don't know why, but it's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
We've got gameplay going on whilst you listen to this, I'm sure. So I'm sure you must have seen it once or twice. Like, you can backtrack and try and find it at this point now. I remember it happened when Ron was by one of the secret walls, and we were like, what the fuck's he doing by that wall? And then he just starts crawling fucking like backwards. And we were, what the fuck's that about?
It was so funny.
What was it about? I didn't get it. That's not a way to alert someone to a pressing issue, is it?
I really don't know, but I thought it was hilarious. So
it was great fun. Great fun.
I'd be more than happy to keep playing this game.
Absolutely. If there are constant little graphical glitch fuck ups like that, then this is gold standard in my opinion.
Yeah.
Gold standard. Right.
Any other notes?
I don't on the game. No. I mean, my only other note is Wicked, because Ron, as we've gone on about, like everything you do, like you could fucking fall over and crack your chin open. Ron, Wicked, fucking Wicked. That's Wicked, Harry. Well done. It's too much. It's too much. I'm just logging in to our Gmail because
let's have a look at the cool wall.
Absolutely, because I know that is coming up next.
Yep. So would you carry on playing this?
You know what? I would.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, I would. And it's not because like it's not for the fact that I think to myself like I want to see where this goes. I'm desperate. Like, I'm really interested in it. Not really. I just think with Ron being a total fucking mentalist, and with the graphical fuck ups, and with the potential to have an even longer Hedwig scene, which I think would go past the point of being pathetic and start being a bit funny. Like, I think just those three things can wing it for me to think, all right, I might invest another half an hour. But that's as far as I'm going. So yes, but with a kind of pinch of salt sort of thing.
Okay.
And what about you?
Well, I'm thinking of the way I'm thinking of it. I'm currently trying to play through the Mass Effect.
Right.
So I'm on Mass Effect 1. Would I stop playing Mass Effect 1? So would I rather play half an hour of this or half an hour of Mass Effect 1?
I don't know, mate. You could have like, you might want to get to know your teammates, Garrus and fucking Rex and Liara and all of that sort, and they're very interesting in-depth characters. Or you could have Ron scream in your face for 2 hours. Like, I mean, I don't think it ain't so easy, is it?
No, it's not an easy decision.
No, not at all.
I don't know. I might play it again, but
it's a big maybe in it. It's a big maybe. Yeah, fair enough. I'm with you on that. It's a yes, but a big maybe behind it. I get you. Right. So I suppose cool wall, and then finally we decide our namesake. But first of all, let's have a look at this cool wall. So our top 5 games that we have played in ascending order. So in 5th, we have Aladdin for the Sega Mega Drive. In 4th, we have Hercules for the PlayStation 1. In 3, we have Warriors for the PlayStation 2. In 2nd position is Alien Resurrection for the PlayStation 1. And at 1st, GoldenEye for the N64. Now, once again, don't think any of them are at threat this time round. Gonna chuck that one out there.
No, not top 5. Top 5 is still sweet.
In descending order for the bottom 5, the worst of the worst we've played. In 25th position is Back to the Future Part 1. In 26th is The Crow for the PlayStation. I still get beautiful flashbacks from 27th is Wayne's World for the SNES. 28th is Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction for the PlayStation 1. And 29th, Shrek Extra Large for the beloved GameCube. Right. Where are we thinking off the bat?
I mean, I'll be honest, mate. I did quite enjoy it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
like,
I've got an idea
enjoyed
where
it.
I want to put it, but I want to hear what you've got to say first.
So I enjoyed it. I think I'm looking at the other Harry Potter games to get a
Yes.
reference. So you've got Harry
Philosopher's
Potter.
Stone's
And the
high.
Philosopher's Stone is 7.
7. Fuck.
7. And then
Yeah.
Chamber of Secrets is 22.
Yeah.
It's better than Chamber of Secrets.
It is, yeah.
Is it
yeah.
as good as Philosopher's Stone?
No, I don't think so. Look at the games below Philosopher. I mean, I know where I think I put in. I think you're going to be surprised.
Go on, where are you going to put it? I'm thinking around Cool Spot kind of area.
Not too far off. I'm thinking under Phantom Menace, the new 18th. I'd put it 18th.
You'd put it underneath Star Wars Phantom Menace as the number
Yeah,
18.
I probably would. I think Finding Nemo is a bit better, and it's the equivalent generation.
True. And it was the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
I could agree with that. I could agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's a little bit better than Phantom Menace, though.
Oh,
I'm
come
wondering if it
on.
should take the 17th slot.
You know what? Maybe it is. You know, I'll concede on that. Should we put it new 17?
No 17.
Wicked. That's fine by me. It's literally in the middle, isn't it? Out of the 30 we've done by this point, this is practically center, and that does make sense to me. It's a pretty middling game, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
I've just
So-
realised if we do films, so if
Yeah.
we do a Sonic movie and whatnot, we're going to have
Yeah.
to set up a new cool wall, aren't we? A film cool.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Share.
Well, we'll work on that one anyway. Now, to the main question of the whole thing, the whole reason we do this
This is it.
is Harry Potter 3 and the Philosopher's... No, that's the wrong game. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. That's the one. For
Is
the
it a cash grab?
GameCube, is it a cash grab?
Mate, let me put this to you, right? Although it is EA Games once again carrying this on, and they've had this property for a long time, and you'd like to think that they've developed it to some degree, and it is one of by this point, whilst they were developing the Harry Potter games, it's a bit of a prized possession in their arsenal at the moment. It's a solid game for them to have. It's a proper endeavor. I think they were running to the fucking bank with fucking sacks with dollar signs on this one, due to the time it was released as a complete tie-in, but also the ripping of Zelda properties and stuff like that for the puzzles and for the menus. I don't think that that's coincidence, especially it being on the GameCube and being a couple years after Wind Waker. I think it's a cash grab, mate.
I agree. I think it's a cash grab, but I think it's a good cash grab.
It is a good cash grab. I'll give you that. It's a fucking good cash grab, but it's a cash grab.
No, I completely agree. It's a good cash grab. It's,
Wicked, mate.
Yeah.
Wicked.
I'm
Right.
happy with that one.
Right. So that's it. So we've got a new number 17 out of our total 30 games, and number 17 is Harry Potter 3 and the Prisoner of Azkaban for the GameCube. Jesus Christ. And it's a fucking hell of a cash grab. Take that. In fairness, it was bound to be. And anything below 15 is usually a cash grab. Look at the bloody wall, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
There's a trend emerging, isn't there, after 30 episodes? Jesus
We've only
Christ.
had 8 games we've considered to not be cash grabs.
And they're all pretty much at the top. Jesus Christ. Well, look, next time I think could be a really interesting one, to be honest, because next time we're set to do Doom. And
Yeah, so Net 31 is going to be our first game to film.
yeah, it is. And I think it's going to be... I'm really intrigued for that. I've never seen the film. Doom is an ancient property in terms of games, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it, big time.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've recently replayed Doom 1 because they released it on the Switch. And I jumped on and started playing that, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not good at it, but I enjoyed it.
Yes.
And yeah, I too have never seen a Doom film, so
Wicked. That's one to look forward to then, mate. So
yeah, I'm Doom 2016, great game, and I can't wait to get Doom Eternal.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Well, I never played 2016, so I'm fucking way behind.
You gotta get it. It's so
you can
good.
literally pick it up for like £3 by now, and I'm just fucking useless. Oh well, I'll get to it anyway. Listeners, viewers, wherever you are, whatever you're listening on, thank you so much for watching. I really hope with all of my heart, and I'm sure Steph holds the sentiment as well, that you are taking care of yourself during this terrible time, or unbelievable time we live in. I hope you're all keeping safe, staying at home, and I hope that although cash grab is a very, very small aspect of all of our lives at this particular moment, I hope it gives you some respite from the mad world we're living in currently. Thank you so much for listening.
Agreed.
Please like and subscribe if you are on YouTube. Follow us on multiple platforms, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that stuff. Please comment and hit us with suggestions, because we'll always follow them up. And until next time, Doom.
Yeah, see you later.
See you later.